murder. Yeah, yeah. Coming up next on Mental Health Matters with Marty, I am so excited to have none other than Danny L. Ross here today to share with us secrets for parenting and teenagers, the messages that we carry. Stay tuned. Hey y'all, what's up everybody? It's your boy, it's Martina Sellers coming to you live and in living color all the way from Southern California where the sun is always shining. And I am your mental health hygienist to remind you it's important that we take care of our mental health on a daily basis. Just like you take a bath every day, most of us I see, just like we brush our teeth every day, we comb our hair, we take care of our hygiene, our physical hygiene. It is essential, y'all, that we take care of our mental hygiene as well. Hope you are doing well. Listen, let us know you are out there and listening. Listen, we have a very, very, very exciting and important event happening tonight. Jasmine, how are you? Listen, the extraordinary Jasmine herself for Project Smith Designs. And Project Smith, you need her, y'all, for your social media. Definitely, we appreciate you, Jasmine. Hope everyone is doing well. Listen, come on in and join us. Before we get started, I just always want to give you this caveat of reminder. The Mental Health Matters with Marty show is a supplement and intended for educational purposes and educational purposes only. We are not a substitute. Let me say that one more again for those in the back row of the balcony who did not get to hear us. We are not a substitute for your mental health and wellness. However, we are a supplement. We are a supplement added to your treatment plan. We are a supplement added to your goals in order to get ready and get rid of the stinking thinking. Come on. We want you to know that we want you to join us in the Mental Health Matters with Marty show. However, if you're experiencing any type of psychiatric emergency or a crisis, please, please, please go to your nearest urgent care or dial 911 for further assistance. Yes, we want you to get the help that you need, baby, because we are a supplement and not a substitute. So glad you're joining us. Now, how do I engage? How do I get my questions asked? If you have a question, we love for you to participate with us. However, you can participate by putting your comments on the Mental Health Matters with Marty page. If you have not already liked and subscribed to the Mental Health Matters with Marty, listen, jump over there because that's where we see your comments, or on our YouTube page with Marcel Media Group. Those are the two spaces that we're going to see your comments. Again, Mental Health Matters with Marty on Facebook or Marcel Media Group on the YouTube show, on the YouTube page with that. You know, I'm all tongue-tied because I'm so excited, y'all. Those are the two places I'll be reminding you throughout the show. If you have a comment, if you have a question, listen, we want you to definitely get engaged. Let me know that you are listening today. Type in where you're from. Let me know where you're listening from all across this country because we want to know. We have a great show. Hit those likes and invite someone into the show. Tonight, we are talking about this very important topic. Talk about messages to parents and teens. How to strengthen family bonds. How to strengthen family bonds. It is so vital. Family is so important, y'all, that we have to learn how to strengthen. How do we strengthen these family bonds? My brother Jonathan, so good to see you. You are, as always, thank you. So looking forward to you joining us here today. But we have some amazing tools, Jonathan. Much love to you out there. Hope all is well out there at Pasadena College for you. But how do we strengthen our family bonds? We have to have these conversations. But so many of us, I had a call today with a father who wants to know how he can reach his teenage son a lot better. And I loved it. And I was so glad that we are finally looking for help. And he was very honest. I said, you're doing the right thing, sir. You're doing the right thing by saying, hey, your son is isolating. You notice that your son is anxious. There could be some depression in there. He goes, I can't take the credit for that because my son came to me and told me that. He says, I don't know what message that I was carrying, but I know that I've carried the wrong message to him. We all struggle with that. I have a 31-year-old, I have a 23-year-old, and yes, I do have a 5-year-old. Do not judge me. That's what I have. And I love them all the same. But I know that this second time around of parenting is a lot different from when I was earlier parenting. And I know the message that I gave my 31-year-old is such a different message than what I gave my 23-year-old, which is a totally different message than what I'm giving to my 5-year-old. What's going on, LaDon? How are you, my brother? Hope all is well out there from Michigan. Yes. Good to see you. So glad you're here. Again, guys, let us know where you're listening from and what you're doing. But we're talking about the messages that we as parents carry to our teens. And then what messages are our teens carrying to our parents? If you have noticed, this past year and a half has been a very trying and difficult one. We went from in-person learning to virtual learning and now going back to in-person learning. And then we're still dealing with all these variants and everything. Jasmine, can't wait for you to get down here to Southern Cal, baby. Get down here. Tell the husband you need to get down here to Southern Cal. But we're dealing with all these variants. We're dealing with not knowing how our kids need to interact. Many of them have lost some of the social skills that they had because they were dealing with online education and online learning. For our introverts, this might have been great, but for some of our extroverts, this was very difficult. For some of our extroverts who are athletes, this was very difficult because now we can't get the team together. So that's a whole nother message that they're carrying. So there's lots of messages we are carrying, and they were all having struggles with having appropriate conversations. What do I say? How do I say it? Am I saying it right? There's so much pressure that's put on us. Then we're looking at social media, the pressure of that. Do I measure up against that? Do I not measure against that? From television, from so many crimes and things happening all across America, this world even. Do I vaccinate? Don't I vaccinate? What message am I carrying with that? It is so much that we are being so overwhelmed and bombarded by so many things that we often get confused. But I want you to check out this quick video that definitely, I believe, helps explain some of the challenges that we face. Daryl, can you show that for us, please?
A better relationship between parents and teens is within reach. With his latest book, Messages to My Child and My Messages, licensed professional counselor Danny L. Ross teaches readers how to strengthen family bonds by recognizing and rewriting negative messages for teens and their parents. When what you're already doing isn't working, it's time to try a new way. Messages to My Child and My Messages is your guide. To get your copies, visit www.themessages.net. Or for more information, you may call our office at 817-989-6332, extension 701.
Listen, so glad to have back returning with us on the Mental Health Matters with Marty show, all the way from Dallas, Texas. You heard me. Come on and welcome once again, none other than licensed clinical professional, Danny L. Ross. Danny!
Hey, how you doing, Marty? How are you?
I am well. How are you?
I'm great. I'm great. I'm great. I'm so happy to be back with you.
Always. Listen, you keep kicking out more books than what I can believe. I'm trying to grow up and be like you. Oh my God,
Don't
you are so amazing. I
you
love
are
it.
too
I love it.
funny. I just see it as meeting a need, trying to meet the need of where we are
Right.
today, trying to
Right.
meet
But
that
Danny,
need.
you are so spot on when we're talking about how to strengthen the family bond and what that
Hmm.
looks like. Especially, we have gone through a whole lot in these past, we might as well
Exactly.
chalk it up to 2 years. 2 years, we have turned the family upside down.
Hmm.
What have you been seeing in your own practice and coming out of the school? I was going to call it an institution. Well, school is an institution.
You see me just smiling. I'm just smiling because you call it system, and we can, hey, institution, system, whatever we want to call it.
Right, right.
No,
From the
but
educational
but
system. That's it.
But seriously, I have been
Yeah.
in education for about 20 years, and I have seen so many changes. And
Right.
one of the things that I'm noticing, Marty, is as an educator, we were already needed by our students, but after
Right.
this pandemic, I recognize that we met a need that parents, I don't think they
Yes.
recognize that educators met. And so
Right.
when you take that resource or that support out, there leaves a hole, there leaves this gap
Yes.
of support that our
Yes.
students are used to getting, that our children
Right.
are used to getting. And so one of my things is to create a better and healthier working bond with the family, with the
Yes.
school
Yes.
system, and with our students. There needs to be a collective working together to,
Yes.
to benefit all parties because it's not just about the student, it's about the
Right.
families.
Come
If you
on.
have a mom and a dad who are not in a good place, they're stressed
Mm-hmm.
out, they're trying to
Mm-hmm.
provide, they're trying
Mm-hmm.
to work these jobs, and honestly, sometimes keeping up with the Joneses because the
Right.
kids want certain things.
Mm-hmm.
You have overworked and overstressed parents. So what happens?
Mm-hmm.
It tends to trickle down into our students, and man, and on top of that, those students have so many things that are going on for them
Yes. Yes.
outside of education. You got
Right.
relationships, you got
Right.
college SAT scores, ACT scores, and AP exams, and then they have all those extracurricular activities that they're
Right.
supposed to be a part of, in addition to being a student, just a
Right.
student, a person.
And all of that was put on a screeching halt because of the
Yes.
pandemic. Then we had parents who now became the lunch lady, the disciplinarian principal, the
Hmm.
father, all these other things, the
Hmm.
teacher, the teaching assistant, the special
Hmm.
education teacher, the recess
Exactly.
teacher,
Hmm.
the after school program director,
Hmm.
all of
Hmm.
these things, plus trying to maintain a full time job, or
Hmm.
that we could look at those families who did not have access to internet services.
Hmm.
We
Hmm.
cannot forget
Hmm.
about that. We can't forget about those
Right.
families who lost jobs and now
Right.
their budgets are taken away. All these things. So there were so many different messages of
Hmm.
discouragement, messages of
Hmm.
hopelessness that went out there,
Hmm.
and it became very difficult. I know I was overwhelmed, and I
Yes.
had a preschooler.
Exactly, exactly. And I think another part of this is just recognizing, like, um, if I could be candidly honest, it is just
Hmm.
unfair for some of our students to have to deal with this. Because think about it. You got your high school graduation, you got your proms,
Hmm.
you got to celebrate different
Right.
milestones in your lives,
Right.
in our lives. And with our students today, they have been shortchanged some things that are just very
Yes.
important and they're milestones. And I grieve for them in some aspects because it's really, really difficult to lose those things unexpected.
Yes, yes. And thank you guys. Listen, if this is you and you were part of those students and parents who were struggling, put a raised hand. Let us know that you are part of those ones who were struggling. And remember,
Mm,
engage with us by coming on over. I want to just see who's online here, who struggled with
yes.
during this past year and a half, who had kids who were in school or something. Let us show us by whether it's a hand. Yes, that was me. Yes, indeed. Thank you, Jasmine. Thank you so much because it got very difficult trying to keep
Yes.
up with all these different things and what's the learning
Hmm.
curve and then we had so many students, Danny, that just felt
Yes.
like their whole year was wasted, that they didn't learn anything new
Hmm.
or they
Hmm.
don't learn via Zoom this way
Oh, definitely.
at all. And so then
Definitely.
talking to teachers, they were
Hmm.
just like, I
Hmm.
don't know how to teach kids from that way. Talk to us
Right.
about from your position when you were with the educational system, and now
When I
that you're
was
not.
Right. We already had a difficult enough job, just trying to
Right.
manage, trying to meet the needs of the students. I worked as an intervention counselor for most of my
Okay.
for the latter part of my career, and I
Right.
worked with
Right.
the high crisis, high needs students. Sometimes a lot of stuff going on with those students, absenteeism,
Right.
truancy, just high emotional, problems, things like that. And when we go through a crisis, things like that are heightened.
Yes.
That
Yes.
means
Very
that
much so.
it's problematic
Hmm.
initially, but it's more problematic
Escalated.
for
Uh
those
huh.
students. Yeah, it's escalated.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
exactly it. It's escalated.
Yes.
And so as I work with those students, I started noticing that a lot of them had just kind of given up.
Hmm.
This is not what they signed
Hmm.
up for. It was cute in
Hmm.
the beginning. It was fun. I was getting to stay at home. But think about those students. Once you get into certain
Right.
habits of not
Right.
going to school
Right.
after a certain time frame, and you get
Yes.
pushed back into the mainstream of school, it's
Hmm.
really, really difficult. One of the things I also noticed is we had students who they would trickle in each 9 weeks.
Right. Right.
So
Right.
you got a different community in a sense that's
Yes.
happening every
Yes.
9 weeks. And
Yes.
so it's hard to create stability. Think about just in the classroom, in addition
Hmm.
to
Right.
homes.
Yes, I see you, Kim. Thank you. Thank you. Yes,
Thank you.
it really is. It really is. Y'all invite
Hmm.
some of these parents that need to hear
Hmm.
this. Put their name and tag them in the post, y'all, because Danny is about to drop some amazing knowledge with us on how. Because, Danny, there are not any good books out there to help we parents in this thing called parenting. Now, there's tons of
Right.
material in that 0 to 5 year old, that first
Hmm.
five, what we call out here in California, that first five
Right.
age group. But as soon as we get into elementary school, and there's nothing for middle school, and there definitely isn't nothing for high school, it's like, do it on your own.
Right.
Good luck. Good
Right.
luck.
So the wonderful thing about these books, I took a big focus. I would say a high developing processing teen.
Hmm.
I would say about 12 to
Okay.
maybe 17 could really benefit. And I don't know if you can see it. It's called My
That's
Messages, and it's a self
yes.
discovery workbook for teens. And one of the things that I like about this book is it came from the angle as to where I found it really, really important. A lot of times we want to work with students and we want to change their behaviors, but we don't
Right.
take the time to get to know who they are and what
Well, that's good.
motivates their behaviors. And so one of the great things about this book is we honor the young child. We honor that
Hmm.
teenager so that we can listen to them, hear them, and then we know how to respond based on some of their answers in this book. And so
Yes.
I'm really excited about that.
Okay, before we even go into that, you have this
Okay.
amazing, brilliant. You see, I get excited about your stuff because I use it in therapy.
Okay.
I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna
Okay.
lie.
Okay.
You have this amazing series, what I love to call series, called The Messages. You started off with this one. Am I correct?
Yes,
Messages
that's
we carry.
correct.
The messages we carry. This is go right ahead.
There's actually one before that. You never got this one. The
I
messages
have it at
we
home.
keep. Yeah,
Yes.
this is called The Messages We Keep. And I created a workbook to go with this one as
Yes.
well.
Okay.
And
Yes.
can I give you a little background as to how the series
Please.
developed?
Yes,
So
please. We want to hear that.
I had a good friend, and he was like, I ain't reading over 40 or 50 pages. And he
Right,
said,
right,
your first book was just enough for me to read and to get some insight. And at the end of it, I got so much from it. And he's like, when the next one coming? And I'm like,
right.
man, I just finished this one. I'm wow. And so
Yes.
he gave me the idea. Shout out to Tori Shumpert. I'm going to give him those props because he really ignited me with that idea. So
Mm-hmm.
the next set of books, the next book I had was the messages we carry. It's a workbook for Black men because we were going through this crisis, social oppression, racial,
Right.
racial injustice. And I really needed to write to where I was as a Black man. And also, I was seeing certain struggles in my therapy sessions with men of color. And so I said, what better time to write about those problems or those concerns? And I said, the messages we carry is really related to the 8 sessions that I have most often with men of color. And so that's how that one developed.
Yes. So that came. They've got the best. So I love it because it's a workbook for Black men.
Yes.
And I love that because I love it. I use it in therapy. I shared this with you that I use it in therapy and give it to my Black male, especially my young adult men. Let me put on my seeing glasses because aged and got me.
Please
don't tell nobody.
Please see. We be telling on ourselves, don't we?
We tell us how. I love this. You start off with this whole thing in chapter 2. Who am I? And it's so important because many of us don't recognize who we are. And I love this. Many different factors can determine so much of who we are. Some we can control, and some we can't. Our family origin. One of those factors holds many of the keys to who we are as individuals. To begin, fill in the box below of the names of your family members on your mother's side of your family and your father's side. So I love that you have us to go through and you told us to shake the family tree. That's what you're
shaking.
We're shaking the family tree.
Yes. We're going to knock some stuff out of it. We're going to knock some stuff out of it. Yes, we are.
You are backdooring us into doing a genogram.
Yeah, that's right.
That's what you're doing.
It's much simpler than the genogram. So I was like, I used to hate those in school. So I said, I
love a genogram.
I'm not going to pay people.
I will do a genogram. No. I will sit up there and say, tell me about your family. And why they just tell me, I didn't put a whole genogram together. And I go, is this what your family dynamics are? I love them.
I'm going to send those to you. And I said, when they start getting out of, we get out of the circle and the boxes and
I make my own. I got the ghettogram. That's what I'm going to call
mine. Okay, you got yours. Okay, maybe I'll be more comfortable with the ghettogram.
Right. I love it. Kim says, you will find out a lot when you shake the family tree.
Yes, Kim. Yes,
you ain't never lied. You ain't never lied about that because we did, especially in our communities of color, our Black and brown communities.
Definitely.
We have to shake it because we did not like mental health. We thought mental health was for cray folk. We always knew that Ray and Uncle Benny and all them was kind of.
But you know what we did, Marty? We gave them permission to continue to act out. That's exactly what we did. You know how Shoo Shoo is. You know how Riri and May be acting. No, how do they how do they act? They act as if they need mental health supports, but we call it something else. Yes.
Right.
I'm gonna stop right there.
I understand. We about to go to a therapy session. Right. I love it. Kim, love the engagement, Kim. You will find out stuff you need. That's it. And stuff you don't want to know. But we need both of those. It's not just what we need to know, but it's also the stuff that is hard to digest that we have to know.
Mhm.
And so that we can now stop and break the generational, what we like to call generational curses, but they're not
Mhm.
generational curses. We can break those the stinking thinking and break those bad
Mhm.
habits and now
Mhm.
make a corrective plan. Go ahead, Danny.
Exactly. Well, you know, Marty, I love transaction analysis theory. And so I've been really working on this presentation for Friday. And you know, when you
Right.
study something a little bit more, you get a little more something from it the first time. But I was thinking
Yes.
about we have these different roles. We did these ego roles. We have the parent, we have the
Right.
child, and we have the adult. And I think
Yes.
about the adult has received messages from somewhere. Maybe
Right.
it was from mom and dad, maybe it's from grandma, but somewhere
Yes.
along the way, those messages influence them as parents. And I
Yep.
want to ask you today, are the messages that you held as a parent, as who
Yes.
you are as a person,
Yes.
is that
Yes.
message the message that you want to share with your children, those people that you come in contact with each and every day? But a
That's
lot
right.
of times we own the messages because an adult, a person of substance, a person of, you know, dignity told us this is the right or wrong thing.
Yeah. Paula, good to see you, Paula. We got to have, listen, you need to have Paula on one of your shows. She's amazing.
Yes. Okay,
Because
Paula.
yes, yes, yes. Paula, I love it because she went back and reconnected with her father because she needed to know some of those
Mm,
missing pieces as an adult doing that
exactly.
and how it fills in some of those missing pieces as well. But her story is phenomenal,
Mhm.
Paula.
Ooh,
We
I
need to
can't
get you a
wait.
ghostwriter to write the other part of the story with that because I definitely need
Yes.
to have Paula you on next month with that
That's
as well. So
awesome. That's
before we
awesome.
go into please, Daryl, let's do this quickly, Daryl. Can you show the titles of the two covers of Danny's books, please, as we're seeing that? So Danny has these two amazing books, Messages to
Yes.
My Child, a reflective workbook for parents, and My Messages, a self-discovery workbook for teens. Before you go into describing those, Danny, I want to show this other
Mhm.
clip that you sent to us that's
Mhm.
going to help describe that.
Can I
So
can I say
let's,
something about
oh,
that
please.
title real
Of
fast?
course.
It
Of
was it was
course.
something unique. I wanted to just
Uh-huh.
show real fast.
Go
If
right
Derek could
ahead.
put those up again. Now, if you
Yes.
notice the messages to my child, look at the bubbles. The bubbles are sharing messages to the child, and the
Oh,
child is responding in their head the messages that that he wished his or her parent knew about them. But we're so busy telling
wow.
that we don't move back or we don't pull back to
Wow.
actually listen and say, hey, babe, I want to know what's going on with you. I want to know how things are working for you. How can I be a better mom or dad? We don't do that. So I just thought that cover was really unique and I wanted to
No,
share
no.
that.
Okay, since you put, let's play the role of I'm the parent and you're responding in the child in those bubbles, so we can hear that too as well. You know, that
Okay.
just came to me.
Okay.
Sometimes I get that. Darren, let's throw them up one more time. Yes, hold on. Kim says
Mm-hmm.
there are some parts of my parents' messages that I embrace and use as a parenting guideline. There are also mistakes I use. Come on, Kim,
Come on,
as what
Kim.
not to do and how to be a better parent. I learned
Yes.
from the good and the baby Kim. You all right, and she is on the money tonight.
She
Let
on
me
the
tell you
money. She on
something.
the money. She is on the
Yeah, but
money.
that's the
She
truth
is on the
because
money.
as she said,
Yes.
as you shake the family tree, you get to hear those things. And so let's do our exercise with that, Daryl. One more time with
Okay.
those book covers. I love it. So as the parent, I'm saying you will never go to college with these grades.
I wish she would recognize that I don't care about school. I'm depressed.
You look horrible today.
He just doesn't get me.
Why won't you take more AP courses?
I don't even want to go to college. I just want to be a chef.
Why is this bedroom so dirty?
Man, it's all I can do to get out of bed.
I love that. I
I
love
hear
that
those
interaction.
statements. I hear
Yeah.
those. I heard those statements my whole
Yes.
12 years, this past 12 years when
Wow.
it came to communication between families. And I love being the observer.
Yes.
People are like, well,
Yes.
you don't have kids of your own. It really puts me in a really good place to be an excellent observer
Yes.
of
Yes.
what is helping and what's not helping, and how you
Right.
communicate.
Right, because as that observer, you're not in the weeds of the two different
Exactly.
conversations with that.
Yes.
Love, I hear you. Wow, wow is right. When you heard
Hmm.
that, that's why doing it like that, Danny, I thought was so good because you get to hear a
Hmm.
parent's, and now we as parents get to step out of that and go, wow, is that the
Definitely.
message I'm sending to my child? And am I
Definitely.
not
Definitely.
hearing them? Ooh, that just
Oh
moved
yeah.
me.
Hmm.
That's good.
And
That's good.
and
Go ahead,
so
Dan.
yeah, go ahead. You go ahead. You go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. What you gonna
And
say?
so often we're trying to live vicariously through our
Yes,
children,
yes, yes,
taking AP classes and not listening to
yes,
the heart of the kid. He may just want a
yes,
vocational career. Can he just
yes,
make $100,000 and have a vocational career? Yes, he
yes,
can. But we have
yes,
to allow these young people to be happy. It's their lives. As long as they can take care of themselves, I think go for it.
yes. Especially some of these vocational skills like a plumber, HVAC, electrical. Yes, listen. Let me tell you something. You won't have all the $50,000 bills like we got from
Yes,
our
Kim.
college.
You about to make me run out of here because I'm like, wow, what was I thinking? Ooh,
Right, right. I might
these
rethink that and become a
loans.
chef.
Come on, come on,
Yes,
come
you
on,
have an
or
amazing
plumber.
clip that's Since that gave me the chills hearing you guys role play that out. Yeah, LaDon, I hear you, man. It
Mhm.
really does. It really does. So you are a bridge of communication for the parent and child that is desperately needed. Danny, you really
Mhm.
are. You have this
Oh,
amazing gifting for this, and that's why
thank
I
you,
cling
Mark.
to you. Your other gift is in grief. I go to you for parenting and grief. And sometimes
And
the
it's,
parents are catching grief,
I'm
or the
telling
child
you,
is too.
yeah, and it's so much about being available and being that conduit to others, and really being available to just
Yes,
listen and to hear the needs
yes,
of the person who is important to you.
yes. I hear you loud and clear. Let's go to the clip that you gave us a little earlier.
Okay.
Daryl, let's go to that second clip real quick so we can see that one again, please.
A better relationship between parents and teens is within reach. With his latest books, Messages to My Child and My Messages, licensed professional counselor Danny L. Ross teaches readers how to strengthen family bonds by recognizing and rewriting negative messages for teens and their parents. Topics include dealing with all stages of your child's life, from early childhood to high school, how to improve communication as a family, dealing with misbehavior and rethinking punishment, strengths and weaknesses of specific parenting styles, quizzes and activities, relatable stories, coping techniques, and more. This workbook encompasses the author's more than 20 years of experience helping families resolve issues ranging from family support, educational needs, absenteeism, poor academic performance, and simple self-discovery of the student's social and emotional needs. Through proven exercises, thoughtful questions, and insightful information, parents will see themselves and their children in a fresh light. When what you are already doing isn't working, it's time to try a new way. Messages to My Child and My Messages is your guide. To get your copies or sign up for the parent or teen in-person workshops, visit www.themessages.net. Or for more information, you may call our office at 817-989-6332, extension 701.
That's the number.
Let me tell you something. If you ain't professional, I don't know what professional is.
You so funny. You so funny. You
I
are
love it.
so
I love it. I love it.
yes.
Kim talks about some parents push AP because that's what the schools push. So our educational system is designed to make it seem like students or our parents are failing if they don't take 3+ AP courses or attend a 4-year university right out of high school. Kim, you are so spot on. And part of I know that was amazing. So part of what I want to do, Danny, I'm going to have you sit on my board of directors with that too. I want to open up a charter school designed specific for those kids who want to focus on that. Danny, I have wild, crazy ideas. Stop laughing at me.
I'm laughing. I say, if you do one more thing.
I'm going to do it. I promise you, a year from now, I'm going to open up my charter school. Yes, I am.
I'm with you.
And we're going to have educational services. We're going to have psychological services. We're going to have parenting, because I want to help those kids who dropped out of school because they became early parents. We're going to give them a high school diploma and a vocational certification all on the same day. Listen, don't play with us. And then they're going to give me 15%.
15% is, yes, I like that. I want to go. That what Kim was talking about is so true. And a lot of times it's not about the learning of the AP courses. It's more so about, let me be in this group of high achievers. And a lot of times some students are not those high achieving students, but they're in there with their friends. A lot of times these courses, I'm going to stop right there. We're just going to stop right there. A lot of times these courses are just designed for so many different things when it comes to students. Sometimes they've turned or morphed into places where there's less discipline. And it's not about the academics. It's about being in a classroom to where supposedly high achieving students are in those classes, so less disciplined thought. But what happens to the student who may not be up here, but they don't want the discipline problems? Sometimes students and parents are pushing those AP classes so that they don't have to deal with some of the other things that, are going on in the classroom. I guess I can talk about it a little bit. I'm not very important.
Yeah, but you're absolutely right. Constance says, that's it. It is the right there. You are absolutely 100% on target with that. And we have to look at the big scope of that, what the whole design of it. That's a whole nother show. That's about how to fix this broken educational system that we're still modeling a 1940s model and not the model that we need to. Says, bless my baby, only black kid in his AP class. Oh my God, God bless him. He said he feels isolated.
Difficult.
It is. I get it. I graduated from Irvine High School. We counted 2 Samoans so we can have 5 black folk graduate in the class. So, and of that, don't you laugh. I think me and one other girl, a black girl, we were the only ones that were in the AP classes. Since they're not always designed to keep students of color engaged, oftentimes those courses are culturally, you're right, because we never get to study Langston Hughes. We don't get to study Zora Neale Hurston. We don't get to give those things that Booker T. Washington did from an academia point of view, and those type of things as well. So prison pipeline in schools.
We about to go somewhere today.
I love it. I love it. See, we got all the academia folks coming on here talking, but that's the truth. Danny, let's jump into this book. Let's jump into your first book about messages to my child. Talk to me about a reflective workbook for parents. Why is it so important that parents now begin to reflect on the messages that they carry and the messages that they deliver? Can I say it that way? Deliver to their children. Why is that so important and vital?
Because I ask in this book as well, my messages to my child, I ask parents in this book to think about their past, to think about what they're bringing into their parenting styles. Did you like how your parents parented? What did you find favorable with your parents' parenting style? And what did you take away that was helpful? And then what did you take away that was not helpful? And I think about the messages that have been shared with us. I can't think of who said it, but how we see ourselves is oftentimes mirrored by the adults who are placed in front of us. And a lot of times our parents are mirroring. Was it in that? It's oh, it was in that one too. Okay.
It was it. Yes,
Okay.
yes. I'm not mad at you.
Man, that's where I get okay. It came from my own book. I just can't
It
remember.
came from your. Come
Okay.
on, repeat your own stuff.
Hey, it's becoming so much to where I can't even remember which book it's from or
That's
where it
okay.
came
Listen,
from.
recycle and recharge.
Yes, yes.
That's
But
right.
no, we receive so many messages, and those
Right.
mirrors can really, some of them can be really helpful, some of them can be really
Yes.
good. But we find
Yes.
sometimes that we're trying to live up to our parents' expectations and
Mm-hmm.
not necessarily our own
Mm-hmm.
expectations. And if I could
Mm-hmm.
get parents to really allow kids to have a say in their own lives and not necessarily you do as I say, but we have this collaborative approach versus just do what I say and follow my lead. I know what's best. And in this book, I talk
Mm-hmm.
about parenting archetypes. Can I just read a
Uh-oh.
few of the parenting? Oh, you got some of
Can
them
you
now? Go
please?
ahead.
No. Go right ahead. Go right ahead.
Okay.
Go.
So some of the parenting archetypes is the authoritarian parent,
Yep.
the
Yep.
agents.
Yep.
That agent is that person who works out deals for their kids. And so
Yeah.
when they
Yeah.
get to college, they don't know how to finagle and do their own stuff because they're sitting up in the counselor's office and they're sitting up in
Uh-huh.
everything that the kid does. And they're over there making deals for them. Then we have the
Mm.
lawnmower parent. That lawnmower
Uh-oh.
parent will chop everything down to make sure that kid does or gets what they need to do. See, I'm stepping on some toes in this book, and as I was telling someone, I said this has probably been my 20 years of some of the things that I really wanted to talk about, and some of it is owning your own stuff. Where is that coming from?
Wow.
Why do I need to? Why do I need to just mow the lawn with and get what I need to get? What I need to do so I can get what I need to get for my kid. And where's the
Wow.
ownership for the kid to be an active participant in their
Right.
education and their lives? And we're teaching them for the future. Where do you think we get nasty parents from?
Mm.
That lawnmowers,
Mm.
the agents,
Mm-hmm.
by any means necessary. I'm gonna go off on who I
Mm-hmm.
need to go off. I'm gonna cuss out who I need to cuss. I'm being extreme here,
No,
but
you're not. It's the truth. It's the truth. Listen, I didn't seen it. I saw a parent go off on the TA today. I said, uh-oh.
oh, you saw it.
But
See,
just today. But she had a valid point, but she could have said it in a different way. I
exactly,
got her point.
exactly.
But she could. But I can we go back to the agent parents?
Yeah,
Because I think a
yes.
lot, especially those. My father was an agent parent to my brother, and a lot
See,
of times, what happens is we want to live vicariously through them. Everything
mm,
that we thought we should have achieved, now I'm going to be their agent and push them into my dreams and desires as opposed
mm-hmm.
to asking them what they want to. Thank you, love. She's talking about childhood trauma. The cycle
Childhood
continues
trauma.
into it does. It continues into adulthood,
Mm-hmm.
and then it
Mm-hmm.
continues in our not just adulthood, but how we parent as well. So listen, that
Yes, yes.
lawnmower parenting took me out. Yes, it did.
Can I read that agent? What this
Please.
definition is so eye opening. When I think
Yes.
of the
Yes.
agent parent, I think of a sports agent. They want to see their
Yep.
children successful, so they do everything they can to make sure the kids follow the right course to
Yep.
success. Those parents want their child to achieve what they couldn't. They will push for their kids to be involved in a sport, attend a certain college, or join a club,
Yep.
even if their child has no interest in the matter. In these
Right.
cases, the agent parent may even bribe or use their influence to get their way, a practice which devalues the importance of hard work. Mm,
Yeah.
mm, mm. You want to hear
Yes.
that
Yes.
lawnmower? Because they're
Let's hear that
closely related.
lawnmower.
But the
Right.
lawnmower
Right.
parents are similar to the agent parents because both will do what it takes to see their child achieve their version of success.
Uh-huh.
But while the agent parent will use influence and power, the lawnmower parent is more aggressive and will mow down anything that is standing in their kids' way. Lawnmower kids learn the best approach is to push others around to get
Yep.
what they want instead of working hard themselves. But what happens when the parents can't be there all the time to make things easier? When the kids go off to college or get their jobs, what happens then? So these are the two main that kind of concern me because I see them in our now today society.
Wow. Right. That's the truth. That's good, Danny.
Right.
That's good. That is good. You deal with other topics in the parenting one, such as substance abuse, high school and stress, dealing with misbehaviors, improving communication, working hand in hand with teachers, early childhood development, all those wonderful topics that you deal with. That's just amazing and quite brilliant, Danny.
Yeah, I want to talk about, can I talk about this little part about the allyship between teachers and parents?
Yes, please.
If I could tell parents, teachers are your best ally to learning about your kid, knowing what's going on. But if you create a hostile communication kind of relationship, you won't ever get the fullness of the conversation that needs to be had regarding your kid. Because you know why? They're afraid of you, and nobody wants to be sent. Nobody wants the board to be called on to the board as to something they said that they were just meaning the best intentions. And we can't nowadays. We really just can't be fully honest about some of the needs of the students because we're so worried about legal issues. And so, like I said, some of this is I really wanted to have a real open, honest dialogue. And I said one way I could do it is just put it in a book.
Yeah, I love that. And you know what I think is even more powerful is me as a father showing up at the school. They're going to remember me because especially me as a Black father showing up to the school. They're going to remember me. I would tell my son's teachers, I said, listen, before you call his mama, call me.
Call you.
And then I would
Marty, let me and when you say that, I'm like, what is the significance of calling dad versus calling mom? Because I think that's huge. You just hit a point.
I think it's huge because I'm trying to get to the simple solution of what the problem is. I'm not dealing with emotions. I want to deal with facts. And I want to know, now I'm going to support my child, but by me doing that, let them know that one, I'm going to support my son. But it also gave the message to my son. It gave out two messages. Gave the message to the teacher, I'm supporting my son, but also gave the message to my son, I'm not tolerating foolishness.
You're not tolerating foolishness.
I'm not tolerating foolishness.
I love that.
And if there's any challenges, and to the point that the teacher would be just like, I know, call me first. I'm with you. I'm like, don't even bother with his mama. Call me first. And there was a couple times he says, you know what? The teacher came to me and said, that worked. I said, Christian, do you want me to call your dad? No.
Exactly.
Went right in
exactly.
Another time,
go ahead,
yes, I just popped up at the school. I said I got tired of him complaining. Sure did. I'm a little cray. I dropped him off at school and went around the corner. I went and got me a venti Starbucks. Brought my laptop in. I just need to. I told her I need to observe into the classroom. Y'all know who this face is. I went. Can I help you? No, I'm just here to observe. I didn't say anything. Just sat there. Now I was doing my work, but I just drank my coffee. Do you know I had no more problems out of the teacher or my son?
No, because nobody wants that. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants you coming to their classroom. No kid nor teacher.
Right. Paula said this, says, I moved my son into college today. Last night, I cried my eyes out, and today I was perfectly fine. I feel like I instilled great messages into his life and my daughter, who is a senior at the same school. We prayed with them before we left the college campus and gave them the greatest message, a student Bible. I love that. Paula, thank you for sharing that. And Paula's amazing mother, wife, deaconess, you name it, she's there. Healing the
She
sick and
done it
shut
all.
in. Yes, she
Yes, she
is.
is.
Yes, she is.
But another point, Marty, I wanted to add to what Paula said. A lot of
Right,
times we go into conversations or different things without the end in mind. What do you want
right.
this to look like?
Oh,
What do
that's
you want to
good.
see for your child? What is that
That's
preferred
good.
future that you want to see for your kid? We ain't up in
Yes.
here just baking cookies. This is
Right.
somebody's life, and we got to have the right ingredients. If I'm
Come
putting in
on.
malice and ugliness and all of those toxic
Oh,
things, I need to affirm him. I need to validate her.
yes.
I need her to
Yes.
know that she's special. You came from me. You came from a history, a lineage
Yes.
of greatness.
Yes.
But a lot of times,
Yes.
these kids don't know who they are. So when they get to school and titles are given to them, guess what, Marty?
Yes.
They own
Right.
them. I'm
Yes.
the bad
Yes.
kid. I can't learn
Yes.
this. I can't do
Yes.
this.
The
And I'm
the
just
negative
like,
labels. Yes.
I'm a
And they
hush.
carry
I go
that.
hush.
That-
They
Listen,
carry it.
but they carry the messages we carry. Yes.
The
My
messages
message.
we carry. My
So
message.
since
Come
you
on.
went there, let's talk about my message. Let's go to
My
that book.
message
My message. This is the book for teens that you put together.
for
I
teens. Yes.
Danny, I love a self-discovery workbook for teens. I love the
Hmm.
self-discovery. I love the part that
Yes.
you start off with chapter 1, who
Hmm.
am I? Chapter 2,
Yes.
my identity. Chapter 3, being your own person. Don't make me shout up in here on my own show.
Come on.
Chapter
Come
4,
on.
support systems. Chapter 5, safe people. Come on, we need to know about safe people.
Say
Chapter 6,
people.
schools. Chapter 7, friendships. Chapter 8, families.
Hmm.
Chapter 9, emotions. Lord have mercy.
Emotions.
Chapter
Emotions.
10, tough issues. Talk to us about my messages. What was your intent and the intent of this particular workbook itself?
Like I told you before, I used to work with the high needs students. I'll just call them high
Mm-hmm.
needs because a lot of
Mm-hmm.
times, either they were dealing with a lot of absences, they were dealing with
Mm-hmm.
really difficult home lives, and just not a good support system many
Mm-hmm.
times. And one of the things that I
Mm-hmm.
began to notice is nobody ever listens to them in a way that they need to be heard. And so I
Mm-hmm.
used to offer those kids a one-on-one. I would just sit and listen, and I would
Right,
ask,
right, right,
some
right,
pretty good leading questions and to help them explore meaning.
right.
But with this book, what I really wanted to do was allow them to share what is important to them, not what's important to
Mm-hmm.
me, what's
Right,
important to them. And if you know what's
right.
important to a kid, you can pretty
Yes.
much, if you honor what's important to them, and
Mm-hmm.
wraparound. Wraparound
Yes.
brings in all of those professional
Love
and
wraparound.
all those resources, and we create a
Yes.
team. But a lot of times in
Yes.
education, we will discount what the student is telling us as to what works best for them. So this book really allows you to get some valuable information that sets the student up for success. And by the way, I have
Love that.
created an e-course for my messages that I'm doing some research now so that we can share it with the school systems and really
Come
get
on,
this
e-course.
digitized. People will get a printout at the very end of the e-course of
Yes.
all the information in here. Saves you time. This is the language of our students, and this is
Wow,
how
it
they're
is.
speaking. And
Yes.
you're gonna have a wealth of information to share with parents and families and support systems to help the student become what he needs to be.
Yes, ADHD is the male label given to our black and brown kids. The devil is a lie. Love, you're absolutely right. And I teach ADHD, and Danny, you can agree with me on this, as a superpower. And we
Okay.
like to label our children ADHD, the school system, especially our black and brown boys around the third,
Hmm.
fourth,
Hmm.
fifth grade, even if not in the
Hmm.
early as the
Hmm.
second grade as well, because they're creative. And we
Yes.
now have
Yes.
squashed their creativity because we're not as creative as they are, or we can't
Mm-hmm.
process as quickly as they do as well.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, some of us need
Mm-hmm.
to have a little bit more ADHD in us so we can get some things
Mm-hmm.
done. Come on.
And,
And if we
and
teach them from that point of a
yes.
superpower, I have this
Yes.
amazing super
Mm-hmm.
strength that I'm not going to
Mm-hmm.
let any teacher or anyone else take from me. Go
Yes.
ahead, Danny.
No, I was thinking about, I love the term exceptionality versus giving a kid a label. What is his
Yes.
exceptionality? The
Yes. Oh,
exception
that's
means that
good.
he can be a high functioning student or he can be
Yes.
a student who needs supports. I try not
Yes.
to use those labels and I just tell
Love
me where
that.
he needs supports, where he needs helps. But what is his exceptionality? I'm not using SLD. I'm not using LD. I'm not using opposition or defiant disorder because when I give that label, the student particularly likes to own it. Well, my therapist said, my psychiatrist said that I'm ODD. I see the relevance in that, but all it's doing is categorizing. That doesn't do
It does.
anything to help you do anything. Sorry.
So now I carry that. No, you're absolutely right, because now I carry that negative message, the negative
Mhm.
stigmatism that's pointed that's labeled along with that, because we don't have a great understanding of ourselves. And then, Danny, can we be honest? Most
Yes.
teachers have no idea about how to deal with the mental health side of that anyway. And so we take
Mhm.
these long IEPs that half of us can
Mhm.
barely, that's a waste of paper. Listen, get to the bottom line.
Mhm.
What you trying to say? They need help in math. Okay, let's get them a tutor.
Well, and oftentimes our parents don't really understand the IEP because
Right.
there's a language of every culture. Educational
Yes.
language has has
Yes.
a culture language that's defined, and we don't. Our parents don't go around speaking that language. We do.
No. Listen, I'm in the profession and don't go around speaking that language.
Mhm.
So speak on it, Daddy. Listen, I don't speak on
Yes.
that. Listen, baby, we going to find a way of getting you some more attention. Exceptionality. I
Mhm.
love it. Yes, Kim, our words matter and those labels can be harmful. Sometimes what's masked as good label is actually negative. Listen, Kim has been so
Mhm.
spot on tonight.
Come on,
I so
Kim.
appreciate her. Yes, yes. Okay,
Yes.
Danny, you have an
Uh huh.
amazing event coming up this Friday that I hate
Yes.
I'm not going to be at. Oh my God.
I do
But tell to us
too.
about it. Oh,
Yes, I'm glad that is up because I could not think of the address. It's the message, the release of my books, Messages to My Child, and my
yes.
messages, and the book launch. We're going to do a free communication workshop. It will be like none other that you have seen. We're not just going to get in there and tell you how to talk. It's coming from a very different approach. It's about what are
Uh-huh.
you putting into your child or your family member to get the results you want as a family. So I'm looking forward to sharing with those who show up there. It's at Bob Duncan, 2800 South Center Street, Arlington, Texas, 76014. And please wear your mask. We just want to be extra
That's right.
precautious and making sure that people are safe. Yes, we do.
I love it. South Central. You sure you're up in LA? Come on. In the
Hmm. Hmm.
9002.
Yes, yes. We
Well,
got
once
to we
they
got to
carry
do what we got to do.
I love LaDon says once they carry those negative labels, it makes it hard for the kids to accept any positive things spoken over them.
Mhm.
You're absolutely right,
Definitely.
because we remember those negative things. We keep trying to force kids to learn in a one size fit all model, and it doesn't work for everyone, especially for Black children in a school system where only
Come on,
2%
Kim.
of Black males are teachers. And come on, and slightly more Black women.
Women.
Come on, the
Yes.
two percenters. Yes, you're absolutely right
Hmm.
in that.
Hmm.
Kim got her stuff
Hmm.
together. This seems like an
Yes.
awesome and much needed workshop. It is. It is.
Oh, it's going to be
Danny,
great.
before we go, for those who cannot make it out to Dallas,
Hmm. Hmm.
I hate it.
You're so crazy. You crazy.
I can't make it out to Dallas. Lord have mercy. How can they purchase your book?
All they need to do is go to www.themessages.net and go to my website, or you can go to Amazon and get the book. They will be available on this Friday, August the 27th. And and if you want a signed copy, we got some special ways to get those.
Uh-oh.
And like
Come
I
on.
said, this book, I'm really proud. I don't generally get proud of stuff that I do, but I'm really,
Why
really
not?
proud because you know what? It's just, I really feel like as you progress and you write,
Yes.
you
Yes.
start speaking more freely. And I think I
Yes.
really was pretty free in writing these books. And so if you
I
really
love
want
it.
those nuggets of somebody who's been in education for 20 years, you need these books. You need them. You need them. I ain't playing.
I love that. I ain't playing either. I ain't playing. Listen, I'm about to start some parenting workshops out here in California using those books.
Come on.
Because I'm constantly looking for materials. Says I need both of them to come to. That's right. Okay, come on,
Come
Tennessee,
on.
as soon as possible. Please listen. Reach out to Danny. He definitely is
Yes,
more than.
please.
Listen, he
Please.
he can get a plane ticket.
I sure
To come on
can.
up. Sure, you're right. We can go on and fly up there. Now you're gonna need someone to carry
Yes.
your bags, so I'll be there to just carry your bags.
You're so crazy.
Look, Jasmine, Daryl, we're going to Tennessee, y'all. We're going to
We're
Tennessee.
going to Tennessee. Oh, I can't wait to talk about some of our future endeavors. We got some great stuff
Yes.
happening.
Okay,
I'm so
Danny,
excited.
you got to come back soon again because we
Yes.
barely scratched the surface.
We did. We did.
We barely scratched the surface, and that hour went by so fast. Danny,
So
again,
fast.
much love, my brother. You know I got nothing but love
Much
for you.
love to you.
Admire
Thank you.
the work that you are doing. Continue to tell us about these messages on so many levels. And thank you so much. Again, Danny. Again, y'all, let's give another warm welcome to and thank you to Danny L. Ross of themessages.net.
Thank you so
Most
much.
definitely. Again, y'all, we want to thank Danny Ross for joining us tonight on this amazing episode of Parents How to. I done forgot my own topic. Thank you, Daryl. How to strengthen family bonds. See, that's why I love you in the background, my brother. How to do that. Again, please share this with other people because we know that Danny dropped us some amazing nuggets on what we can do to strengthen family bonds and have a much better communication with our children, and that parents were listening to them and supporting them from a different platform, a platform of support and not a platform of pointing the finger and judgment. Again, thank you so much. Please check out our website at mentalhealthmarty.com. Again, mentalhealthmarty.com. There you will find some amazing things on this journey to support you in your mental health journey. So please check out our latest thing is our Stop the Stinking Thinking Journal. Yes, that's Stop the Stinking Thinking Journal. The journal is preceding the book to be expected to come out around October 1st of Stopping the Stinking Thinking, this journal of positive affirmations. And please also look for our latest shirt, Black Mental Health Matters, or in other words, Black Men Matter. Please check that out on our website as well and support us in this journey. Again, also, please check out some of our other recordings with our Mental Health Matters with Marty podcast. Please look at some of the old episodes on that and some of the previous episodes because they are still very, very impactful. In fact, Danny and I have an episode in there as well. Please check that one out. You're going to really, really enjoy that episode where I interviewed Danny on the podcast. Again, if you are an Apple listener, please give us a 5-star rating and leave us a review and become an iMatter member of Mental Health Matters with Marty by texting iMatter to 855-717-1272. Again, thank you so much as we continue this journey in our mental health decisions and what we do. We always want you to stop the stinking thinking and always remember, as we say, to speak up, to speak out, and always live in order to get your best life. Enjoy your life. We'll see you next time.